with music, I feel like I have so much of my own stuff intertwined, like my own pain, my own stories, my own, it's very self-aggrandizing and very and I feel like with acting, you get to use those pieces of yourself.
And then it became like, I will elbow everyone out of the way to play the part.
Did you know RachelZegler was almost cast in Wicked? Not just a small cameo, but reportedly aiming for one of musical theater's most iconic roles, Elphaba. Rachel, who rose to fame with West Side Story, was quietly involved in early talks for the Wicked movie adaptation. Few knew this back then, long before her name became linked to controversy.
Weird.
Rachel was secretly angling for a major role in one of Hollywood's biggest musical blockbusters. And not just any role, she wanted to be the Green Witch at the center of it all. At first, it seemed like she had a real shot.
This weird quirk I've tried to suppress or hide is a talent.
She teased fans by posting videos of herself singing No Good Deed, subtly hinting, without ever confirming, that she might be up for the role.
I didn't even really know that it was actually like in casting or happening. And it wasn't until I was like working on Shazam that crew members were talking about going to work on it next. And then I was like, oh, is that like happening? And they're like, yeah, it's totally happening. So people constantly tweet me and be like, so you wore green today. And I think that's you telling me that you're playing Elphaba in the Wicked movie. And I'm like, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, I'm flattered.
Her fans went wild, analyzing every post, and comment for clues. Rachel knew the buzz those songs would create, and she leaned into it. Her name started trending with the film even before casting was finalized. Behind the scenes, Rachel had a powerful ally, the same producer who later got her the lead in Snow White. After things went south, that producer reportedly had to travel across the country to manage the fallout from her public behavior.
There was an in-depth piece, like a behind-the-scenes piece, talking about how they've been in a full meltdown about this girl for a couple of years now, and how they had her tweet out like a little, yay, Snow White, can't wait, so excited, I love to play her. And she did it and got like millions of views, and they were like, good job, Rachel. And then she, like, minutes later followed it up with, and never forget, free Palestine. And they were like, my God, what? They flew an executive, one of the producers, out to go visit personally with RachelZegler to say, could you please take that down? Because we understand you can have your political views, but those aren't really helpful while you're trying to build an audience for a movie. Maybe you could save them for like your diary and your friends, but like maybe not, maybe just take the tweet down. And she wouldn't. And then the son of that producer who got on the plane to go over and say, would you please, for the love of God, take this down? And she wouldn't, was all on Instagram yesterday, admitting it all. The
connection gave Rachel early access to Wicked's development. But it also caused problems. Rachel wasn't satisfied with just a supporting role. She set her sights firmly on Elphaba and made sure the film team knew it. That's when things reportedly got messy. Sources say Rachel's behavior was already raising red flags, the same patterns that would later cause chaos on the Snow White set.
Rachel Zegler is extraordinarily woke, but she's woke in a way that's quite deranged. I truly do believe that. There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Rumors spread that she became competitive with other cast members, especially anyone rumored for Elphaba. Her enthusiasm turned intense, almost controlling. A production assistant described her early interactions as demanding and restless, pushing for information, suggesting changes, and trying to influence decisions before casting was even finished. This tense dynamic mirrored the awkward Oscars, moments she shared with her Snow White co-star, where they barely interacted.
Please welcome Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot.
Visual effects push the boundaries of what we see on screen.
Their work makes the impossible seem possible.
With breathtaking ambition, they create magic that wraps its arms around our wildest imaginations.
Here are the nominees for Best Visual Effects.
History watchers now see that frosty Oscars moment as proof of Rachel's growing reputation for clashing with high-profile peers. Producers moved her to Snow White to avoid on-set tension, giving her the solo spotlight she craved. Online, a debate simmers. Was Rachel an assertive, empowered actress carving out space? Or did she overstep and sabotage her own momentum? A viral clip of her demanding payment every time her movie streams became a symbol of her unapologetic stance.
Hey, if I'm going to stand there 18 hours in a dress of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
Oh, is that right?
To her fans, she represents modern femininity, pushing for deeper characters, challenging outdated norms, and using her voice to reshape the industry. But even some fans found her delivery off-putting. Her efforts often came across as personal branding with a political edge. When she teased Wicked songs online, the buzz was real, but so was the confusion. Instead of aligning with the film's tone and legacy, Rachel seemed more focused on stirring hype than respecting the creative process. For the Wicked producers, this was a red flag. Her early influence attempts clashed with the collaborative spirit needed for a massive musical. There were no public firings, just quiet conversations, and Rachel was no longer involved. By then, she was diving headfirst into Snow White, handed the lead role she'd always wanted. What followed was one of Disney's most chaotic press cycles in years. Rachel spoke confidently about reimagining the classic princess, questioned the original story's relevance, joked about the prince being a stalker, and fans didn't laugh. Backlash exploded. The remake was labeled too political. Traditional Disney audiences turned away, and media began to ask, was Rachel ready for this kind of spotlight? Looking back, many see Wicked as a pivotal moment, a chance to take a different path of patience and collaboration. That moment passed. She brought the same energy into Snow White, but now it played out in the harsh light of public scrutiny. The very traits that once made her a rising star made her polarizing, and the cost is showing. Future projects are being reconsidered. Studios doubt her ability to carry a franchise without controversy, and even co-stars keep their distance. Once seen as the next big thing, RachelZegler is now viewed with caution. Had she handled Wicked differently? Who knows? She might have starred in one of the decade's biggest musicals, earned respect as a team player, and become a true icon. Instead, she watches Wicked from the sidelines while Snow White struggles, under public rejection. Her story shows that even the brightest talent can stumble, not from lack of skill, but from not knowing when to speak, when to listen, and when to let the story shine without needing to control every part of it.